Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at how many Chrono Crystals you can receive during the DB Legends 5th anniversary. We're going to be looking at the celebration in a whole and as a whole. So obviously some of these are not available at the current point in time, but will be available throughout the anniversary. I also kind of want to preface that you can earn 25,000 pretty easily, but if you get lucky with things like chance and hoi poi, and well, not hoi poi, but with the roulette and things like that, then you can earn up to like 30,000. So just keep all that in mind. But we're going to start with the basics and kind of start with pretty much everything you need to know. So let's start with the Tuesday missions. So you get 200 Chrono Crystals from the Tuesday missions, and then if you exchange your Tuesday medals, you can actually get up to 600 from exchanging the medals. Hyperdimensional Carp, you can receive 200 for each hyperdimensional carp that occurs, and there will be about 5 during the course of the anniversary, so that's around 1,000, between 1,000 to 1,200. The final hyperdimensional carp though, you're not really going to use those Chrono Crystals for any. Then in terms of obviously the big Chrono Crystals, you get 4,000 for completing the anniversary medal collection missions. Now obviously this will take players a little bit of time. I know some people go crazy with hyperdimensional carp and like finish it super quickly, but this will take you some time. So obviously bear that in mind, that although it's 4,000, you're likely going to get about midway through the anniversary. Then you have Tournament of Power. There'll be a couple of these. You can get not only the 100 from the missions, but you also get Chrono Crystals depending on where you placed. Now generally players should place in around the A, S kind of categories if you pay a little bit of attention to this game mode. But if not, you're just going to kind of auto collect 100 Chrono Crystals. So again here I would say the minimum is probably 1,000, ranging to 1,800 depending on how serious you take the game mode. Then of course beyond that as well, we also have a couple other little sneaky ways to get some Chrono Crystals. Well, not sneaky, yeah, to be honest it's pretty straightforward. So the other ways that you can kind of grab yourself some Chrono Crystals obviously are from the adventure modes. So just attending your adventure mode will net you 150 Chrono Crystals every 10-11 days or so, and the anniversary will continue for around 60 days, so pretty easy, do the math, it's around 900 Chrono Crystals. Generally speaking though, I would say that most people count it as around 600, because if you don't pay attention you're not going to get that 150 pretty easily. Then beyond that as well, pretty straightforward stuff. So the next step towards making some decent Chrono Crystals is going to be completion of your daily missions. Now this may come as a surprise to people, but daily missions add up, and for every single set of daily missions that you complete, you will get 1,000 Chrono Crystals. Now daily missions do take a little bit of time, basically up to 14 days, so around here we're looking at around 4,000 daily mission Chrono Crystals throughout the course of the anniversary. 14 times by 4 gives you 56 days, which works out to being about right. So yeah, it adds up, so just keep that in mind. Next is your battle plan. Similar concept, obviously time periods around about the same, and if you go for the top battle plan and you finish it, which you should be able to, you'll get around 500 Chrono Crystals, and again you'll net out around 2,500 to 2,500 Chrono Crystals depending on how you handle those missions. So you're really looking at pretty sizable chunks across the board, but there's plenty more that we can receive from various events. So some of the not so straightforward events, or some of the cumulative missions that you'll be able to get some of the rewards from, are going to be events that have popped up over the course of the anniversary. So for example, one of the ways that has popped up obviously as a result of some additional missions is this new unbelievable final belt. And this is a very easy 500 that players can collect by simply reading through the story. So that's pretty cool, and it requires like pretty much little to no effort, so that's already a pretty nice chunk. You then have the Don't Give Up on the Universe missions. Now these maybe don't add a huge amount, they're more for the characters, but what they do add, or what they do give you, is of course some nice reasonable chunks of stones. If you add it all up, it's around 300 actually, so it's a pretty decent chunk of chrono crystals that you can earn. So it's not something, you know, that you should shy away from doing. It's definitely worth your time. On top of that as well, if we look under the special mission section, they have actually added in, although I couldn't really find it, but they did state it in the Legends announcement, but maybe they'll add it in later, or maybe it's already retrospectively been added into my chrono crystal count. But if you clear certain parts of the story, being part 9 and part 5 I believe, you will receive 1,200 chrono crystals. So you receive 500 and 700 respectively, which is obviously pretty cool. It's a pretty nice way to grab yourself some chrono crystals as well, and you'll be playing the story anyway to farm chrono or hoi poi coins and that, so it's a pretty decent kind of buffer. Then if we take a look a bit prospectively into what's to come soon for Legends, so there's a couple really cool things obviously that are coming up a bit later on that aren't so chance related and are a little bit more kind of like set in stone. So obviously chance time is coming. This is a bit more RNG, as I stated earlier in the video. You could get a lot or you could get not a lot. You then also have the Shenron State Your Wishes. Now I am going to be covering this in a video, but the big thing about this is you need to just get people's codes and have your code scanned. So it's pretty simple, either join a group or a Discord or a Twitter. I'll be doing a video on this and then leaving, you know, a section in the comments and a Twitter link and everything so people can promote themselves. But yeah, basically it's an easy way to make 1,000 chrono crystals, but it requires you to be social, which is probably the hardest part of this game. You then have battle royales. Battle royales are a bit finicky, so I didn't include them in like my base count, but you can technically earn 300 chrono crystals, and we'll probably have 4 of them, so that's around 1,200. You then also have the Ultra Thanks duels. These will start, and these seasons will last 2 weeks, and we'll probably get around 4 of these for the anniversary, maybe even 5, and they'll probably all give around about 500 chrono crystals, give or take. Obviously it requires you to do PvP again, but you're able to achieve these without winning, according to Toshi, so pretty straightforward. We then also have the raids. Not only will you get 4,900 from just participating in all the raids and clearing all the missions, if you participate in all of them, you also get these raid honor medals, which will give you 600 chrono crystals, which is pretty cool. You then also have treasure battle, which is adding in more ways to get chrono crystals. This I kind of estimated out based on the previous one, but you're looking at around about 700 chrono crystals here as well. So all in all, pretty decent. I added it all up, and honestly speaking, you can get around about, just on the base, like without having good luck with chance time and things like that, you can get around 25 to 26,000 chrono crystals by the end of the anniversary. Now at about midway through the anniversary, you would have collected around about 13,000 or so, 15,000, and then at the end of the anniversary the stone count drops a little bit. We don't know what they'll add in part 2 or things like that, if they'll add more events or anything, but yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty sizable chrono crystal count as well, like pretty decent. Like I said though, some things are dependent on luck. You know, you look at like the daily roulette, you could get super lucky with the daily roulette, and you could end up with Legends Limited Power, or Chrono Crystals, or anything like that. Or you could get super lucky with Chance Time, and end up with tons of Chrono Crystals from there. So overall, it's a little bit wonky, but like I said, on the low end, you're looking at around about 25,000 to 26,000, And then on the high end, if you get super lucky or you do everything and you rank high and you rank high in all the seasons, because season rewards counts as well, you could get up to 30,000 if not more. So yeah, pretty decent Chrono Crystal count for the anniversary. It always is. A lot of people always like me to do these things with Dokkan, and I've never really done it before for Legends. But I saw a couple comments about it and I thought I would give people a little bit of a guide or summary of all the ways they can earn Chrono Crystals. But that's basically going to be it from me. And obviously, as a sidebar, if you are someone who's willing to spend, there are great specials currently up for Chrono Crystals. So yeah, but that's going to be it from me. See you guys next time. Bye.